Hello everybody, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. So, hi. What the heck? Ridiculous. So today I'm going to be doing the top 10 beginner mistakes I made in my first year reselling on Poshmark. Dang, that was a lot. So last year was my very first year. I started around February, March. I feel like March is when I really got into it. But I started reselling on Poshmark and eBay. I had kind of been doing this for a while. I wouldn't say it was reselling necessarily, but I was selling stuff more frequently than I would say like the average person. Like I'd find stuff around my house I wasn't using anymore and I'd list it on eBay or on Poshmark. And I've been doing that since I was about 15, I'd say. So I've been doing this for a little while, but last year I got into reselling, which is basically going to thrift stores and flipping items for a profit. So I do this on top of my 8 to 5 desk job. I'm lucky enough to work from home, so I can do this. I have a little bit more flexibility with my schedule, so yeah, it's awesome. It affords me the time to be able to resell. So I wanted to go over some things I learned in my first year. I have not watched any videos like this myself personally, so I'm not really sure what other people say their mistakes were, but I want to share my mistakes and not have like the opinions of others kind of influence that. So these might be kind of weird. I don't really know. Also, before we get into it, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you like it, subscribe, and leave me a comment. I always respond to my comments, and I'm curious to know how many of you guys are actual resellers or just watch for the thrifting shop with me content. So let me know down below. Are you a reseller or do you just like thrift with me? So anyway, now we'll get into it. So number one is not getting poly mailers and mailer bags. I'll insert a picture of the ones, ooh, that's bright, that I use here so you guys can see. But what I used to do when I made a sale is I'd go to Walmart and buy like 4 or 5 bubble mailers, and that ends up adding to your cost of goods because each bubble mailer is usually somewhere around $1, maybe like 90 cents. But when you order poly mailers in bulk, usually they end up being like 10 cents or less, and they fit a lot more in there. The other thing that I do is I use these little free priority mail things from USPS. You can order these and they'll come to your door for free. And I order usually 2 packs because one is not enough. You can use these for free with Poshmark labels. It has to be a priority label. But yeah, if you don't want to spend too much money, these are free and they come with the labels. So yeah, not getting poly mailers beforehand, it makes your life so much easier. So that way when you ship something, you're not all stressed out looking for a box. Also making sure you have enough on hand, that way you don't run out. Sometimes, you know, you might not be able to get your hands on it for a week or whatever. So making sure you have plenty of poly mailers. I also save boxes, or if I go to like Target, I've seen them just have boxes laying around that was from their own inventory, and I ask if I can take it and they give it to me. So yeah. Number 2 is buying stuff just for brands. This happens to me a lot more, I think, at the bins where I'm like, oh, Madewell, but it's a basic t-shirt, whatever, I'll get it. Or like American Eagle, I'll get it, whatever, who cares? There are certain things within certain brands that sell really well. For me personally, basics from Madewell do not sell. Anything but jeans from American Eagle hardly sell for me. So I'm trying to be a lot more particular this year on what I pick up. I don't want to just buy stuff for the brands because I have found that certain things from certain brands just don't sell. The other thing I've bought for brands is Sandro. A lot of people say Sandro retails for a lot and resells for a lot. It's been sitting in my closet with no luck. We the Free, I've sold like maybe one thing for my We the Free stuff, and otherwise it gets a lot of likes and no offers. Abby, Vince, those kinds of brands where the retail value is really high, but the resale value isn't, I'm gonna stay away from, because I like stuff that I would want to wear, and I don't want to resell stuff just for the brand if it's not going to sell. I'll sell it if it moves, but if it's like a basic from Madewell, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, I'm going to stop buying stuff just for the brand. Number 3, this might seem kind of silly, but not waiting till the end of the day to ship. So I used to do this thing where every time I'd make a sale, I'd package it up and I'd go to the mailbox down the street for me and drop it off there. But I found that that was really time consuming and quite frankly very annoying. It makes no difference really, because once they pick it up, the mail has been picked up. So now I wait until 5 o'clock and I drive it to my post office. Luckily I live super close. So at 5 o'clock I package up all my orders, or I package them up throughout the day. I mark them as shipped so the buyer can't cancel. And then at the end of the day, I take them all at once to the post office to save me trips and money. And then if anyone orders after 5 o'clock, I package that up for the next day. But again, if you're dropping it off at the mailbox every 30 minutes, but they already collected it at 11, it doesn't really matter. So yeah, saving myself time by like blocking up my shipping all into one. The next one is not searching comps. So sometimes I'll find something really cute from a brand that I know sells for a lot, and for whatever reason I don't check the comps. So this has happened to me before with like a North Face t-shirt, for example. There are a lot of things that sell for a lot that are North Face brand. T-shirts are not one of them. So I ended up buying a couple of t-shirts from the bins thinking that I would at least get $20 for them. I think I got like maybe 10. Another example of a new with tags, pretty little thing top that I thought was like really cute and it would sell for a lot, it'd be fine. I think I ended up breaking even on the top. So always search comps. I always like allot myself 30 minutes at the end of each trip to make sure I have time to search comps. If I'm short on time or bound for time, I get really anxious and I can't think straight. So I have to have like at least, you know, I'd say an hour and a half to 2 hours at the thrift store to feel like I have enough time to find cute stuff, first of all, but also research that stuff. So the way I look for comps is I just go to Poshmark, I look up my item by brand, and then I put a descriptor in there, and then I just click on sold, and then I sort by just in. Hopefully that makes sense. If you have your phone, you can follow along, but that's how I search for comps. And I like to make sure that I usually am sticking to at least, you know, $30 or above in sold price to make it worth my time. And you might not follow that model. If you're full-time or if you like selling volume rather than high price, then you know, do your thing. But that's just how I like to look up my comps. The next one is sourcing items that are low cost and are just gonna sit around forever. So what I mean by that is like certain mall brands like Maurice's. Even if I find Maurice's at the bins, I don't think I'll be picking it up anymore. It just doesn't get that much attention for me, and for me it's not worth sharing that all the time. Again, your business model might look different, but since I'm a part-time reseller, for me, I'd rather sell higher cost items, or I'd rather sell items that I know will sell super fast, and I don't think Maurice's is it for me. It might be it for you, but it's not for me. White House Black Market is another mall brand example that kind of retails for like the higher end in my opinion, but does not resell a lot for me. I bought one shirt from there and it sold for like $13. And then Lucy. I loved Lucy. That's a sporting like athletic wear brand that got bought up by the North Face. I really like their stuff. I think it was pretty comparable to Lululemon. Does not resell for a whole lot, does not get a whole lot of attention. So yeah, I think I sold their stuff for like less than $15 each when I did source it. So I really want to stay away from brands like that and research more brands from like Nordstrom, Revolve, places like that that have a high selling price, just so, you know, when I make one sale, it feels pretty good rather than like a $8 sale. The next one is buying damaged items. I usually don't do this intentionally. I usually bought damaged items because I didn't check the item well enough in the store. So now what I'm trying to do is really check the item in the store, and then when I get home, I'm not going to take the tags off until I'm ready to photograph it. And I would like to photograph it within a week. That way if I have to return it, I can. But selling damaged stuff kind of sucks. It leaves me with a pit in my stomach because I don't know if they're gonna file a return. I always describe it in like the description box, but I don't know if people are reading that or not. I don't know. It makes me nervous. So also you get less for damaged stuff. I've sold plenty of damaged stuff before, but I want to do that less and less. So yeah, that's really just my bad and not checking things well enough. So yeah, checking things better in the thrift store before I leave so I don't have to make returns. The next one is getting too attached to inventory. This comes to me keeping certain pieces of inventory that I know I shouldn't keep, or not accepting offers because I think it's worth more. I think it's only worth as much as people are willing to pay for it, and people are not dumb. I need to stop getting so attached, and also I need to stop trying on my inventory because that's when I do get attached. I'm here to sell things, not to keep things. So yeah, that is a mistake that I make. I highly recommend not trying on your inventory, to be honest. So one piece of advice I got on Instagram that really helped me with not getting too attached with my inventory was when someone told me to sell the item so you can get what you really want. Because a lot of the times, I wouldn't say all the time, but sometimes there are moments where I get attached to a piece that I sourced just because I think it's pretty, not because it's something I want or need. So in my head I'm like, okay, I'm gonna sell this so I can get what I really want. So hopefully that helps you guys. The next one is really important, and that is not researching offers before I counter or decline. Like I said, sellers and buyers are both very smart people, and buyers will oftentimes research solds too. So I highly recommend, before you counter or decline an offer, to go through recent sold comps for that item to see maybe it changed since you listed it, or maybe it's selling for lower than maybe you thought when you originally listed it. This is actually helping a lot with offers I may have declined in the past. So like, for example, I had a Levi's jacket posted for $55, someone offered me $35, and it seemed really low, but once I started going through comps, it was actually more reasonable, like a little bit lower than what I wanted, but I'd rather accept than just have that sit around forever. So make sure you're researching solds when you get an offer, just as much as you are when you list the item. There have been so many times where I regretted denying someone's offer because I realized it was actually only like maybe $1 or $2 lower than what I was expecting, and I'd rather sell stuff quickly than miss out on like $1 or $2. And then that leads me to my next one, which is being too picky with offers. So yeah, like I said, there have been times where I countered thinking that maybe I could get a couple bucks higher. In the end, I've realized it's not worth it. I would rather make that sale than risk losing it. A lot of times when I counter people, they never come back. I only counter if I'm really confident in the fact that I can sell the item quickly again or get another offer. So if I don't think that's going to happen, usually I will accept. Again, that might not be the right model for you. It's just what I found has worked for me in the last year. So I'm not being too picky with offers. If it's within like $5 of what I wanted, a lot of times I will accept. And then the last one that I learned this year that is so important is not buying something for the sake of buying something, feeling like you're not leaving the thrift store empty-handed. There are a lot of days where I have left the thrift store empty-handed, and that is okay. Honestly, it's better than wasting your money on something just because you wanted to feel like you found something. Some days will be a loss, and some days you will have a full cart. So don't buy something just because you want to feel fulfilled. This is a waste. You will end up wasting your money this way because you're going to settle on something that isn't worth it. So just be a little more mindful when you're shopping. I know I've done this so many times. There was one time where I bought a Joa cardigan for $8 thinking I could flip it for $40. And I still have no likes or offers on the sweater at all. So I think when this happens to me most is when I want to get a cart pick for Instagram. So if you're on Instagram, you might know the feeling, but I'm realizing now I can take a cart pick and still put those items back. So it doesn't mean I have to buy it. Anyway, so those are the top 10 things I learned my first year of reselling. I hope this was helpful to you guys. I know that list was like super random, but yeah, these are things that I wish I would have known when I first started. So I hope they help you out. And if they did, give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment, subscribe, duh. And thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.